In Civil Designer version 9, we have added a new report quantities function, which allows you to keep track of all the terrain module volume calculations that have been done so far in your project. All calculated volumes are stored to a database, allowing you to review and total these up at any stage. So looking here at the terrain menu right at the bottom, we've got this new report quantities item. As you can see, under this all quantities section, all the terrain volume calculation types are listed, and the number of each calculation that has been performed so far in this project is listed over here in the brackets. So 1 dam volume, 1 curb quantities, 4 string volume calculations, for example, have been performed so far. If I just look at the dam volumes again, you can see importantly we've added a timestamp column for all the calculation types, so you can keep track of when exactly any specific calculation was run, making sure that you're always looking at the latest calculation results. Okay, under the curb quantities over here, this is one of those new Civil Designer 9 functions where you can add curbs to a terrain string. So we're listing linear meters of curbs added. To show you what that looked like, these are those curbs that have been added to this terrain string platform. Okay, just going back to that terrain report quantities. So looking at the string volumes over here, you can see we've got 4 calculations done on the string platforms, but 2 of them are for the same platform, and that platform hasn't been edited, so those would be identical. If you had ever made changes to the platform and then recalculate the volumes, you can then keep a record of both of those with this new report quantity. Okay, and then 1 terrace volume calculation has been recorded here in this all quantities section. So whereas the all quantities section gives you a historic listing of all calculations that have been done, the latest quantities section will only list the most recent calculation result for each volume calculation type. Okay, so for those string volumes where we had 4 and 2 of them were for the same, you're only seeing the 3 most recent that were recorded, so the most recent for that top platform, string platform that was calculated. Okay, and then the total report section allows you to create custom volume reports, where for example you can see cumulative area and volume totals for multiple platforms. So this current report is showing the cumulative totals for the 3 string platforms. Sorry, I didn't mention, but if you want to view all the detail, you can resize your dialogues, or you can scroll to the right to view the additional columns. Okay, and then if you right click on any of these, so let's say for example terrace volume, if I right click over there, you've got an option to run a terrace volume calculation, or whichever calculation type you've clicked on, out of this all quantities or latest quantities section. So I can run a terrace volume quickly. Let's for example do one on the pond. Just your standard terrace volume, select the platform, just calling it pond. You can set your compaction and topsoil. Okay, and that new calculation now gets added to the terrace volume listing. Okay, and then there would also be a latest calculation for that added as well to the latest quantities. Okay, and then if you want to generate a new totals report, you can just right click over here under terrace volume and add a total report. So you would select the report type, so in this case it's terrace volumes that I'm looking at, and then you can select from all the quantities or the latest quantities that you want to then select, move across to the right, and you can then generate a report. Some additional selection options over here that are available. So I'm just doing a new custom report for the terrace volumes. Okay, so that would then just be the cumulative volumes and areas for those 2 terrace volume calculations. And then you've also got an option to write this to a file. So in this case, my total report for the terrace volumes, I can write that to file. Okay, so there are 2 output options here when writing your data, report quantities data to file. You can save it as a CSV file, or you can save it directly to an Excel file as well. So very useful, this new report quantities function, just to keep track of all the quantity calculations done in a terrain project.